Hey, what's going on, guys? Back here at Kenzie's house and coming at you with a quick updated deck profile. Today I'll be showing you guys an updated list of my Cubics. For whatever reason today I just looked at a few videos for Cubics and was inspired to put the deck back together. Have made a few changes to accommodate the new ban list and the different meta since I played this at the Monroeville Regional. We'll go ahead and get right into it here. So monster lineup's pretty much the same. We of course have the triple Crimson Nova, the main OTK maker of the deck. It's also really good in this format for the fact that it's unaffected by like Dryden Masterpiece, since it's unaffected by monster effects whose original attack are 3,000 or less. So it'd actually be a pretty nice stun card in some situations as well. But yeah, free Crimson Nova because he is the main objective of the deck. Next, a free Duza. You summon this, and then you send any of your Cubic cards from deck to grave, usually Cubic Karma to search out your other Cubic cards. Then it also is a level 4 for some rank 4 plays. Next, we have a free Vijam. I was playing around before with like 2 or 3 Vijam, but I think you do need 3 because the on-field effect of Karma does come up sometimes, and you want to have as many Vijams in your deck as possible to give your Cubic monster as much attack boost as possible, because if you send 3 off of the Cubic Karma, then it gets a 2400 boost, which is pretty beefy. Next, we're still playing a 2 Summoner Monk, something I considered cutting since there are so many hand traps out there like Ash Blossom, but even if you do get Ash Blossomed or Effect Veilered, you still get to discard as cost, which is important, because then you can still discard your Karma and still get off your search effects. So 2 Summoner Monk just adds a little extra consistency in getting out your Duza and making a rank 4 play. Then we're still playing one of the other Cubics that aren't really that good. Don't even remember their names because it's been so long, but yeah, just one of each Cubic for different names, because Crimson Nova requires that we have 3 different names in our hand to summon him, not including himself. Then for the final monster, we have the 1 Max C because it did unfortunately go to 1. So that's it for monsters. For spells, you of course are still rocking a triple Cubic Karma, most important card of the deck by far. This is what searches you out any card you need, especially Crimson Nova. And with the way this deck flows, you can easily pull off 2 to 3 searches with this in a turn and just get everything you need to OTK. Speaking of OTKs, we have the free Cubic Wave, probably the biggest OTK enabler of the deck. With its on-field effect, you double your monster's current attack and then half the opponent's monster's attack. And then you banish this from the graveyard during your turn and banish any number of Cubic monsters. And you give that many monsters your opponent controls Cubic counters, which is like a Fiendish Chain, negates their effects and they cannot attack. So that's actually a really good way to work around annoying things like Crystal Wing or sometimes Masterpiece. But yeah, Cubic Wave overall, really strong card. Next are the free Foolish Burial Goods, really good for sending Cubic Karma and also the Unification to graveyard to get their grave effects. And again, just more deck spinning and added consistency. Next, I decided to bump up the Dark World dealings to 3. With the few changes I made to the main deck, I did have a little bit of extra room, so I decided to bump this up to 3, just basically to have more discard outlets for things like Karma and Unification, and to add a little bit more draw power. Speaking of draw power, we have the 2 Pod Desires. This is something I was very much against playing when I first put this deck together, because I did not like the possibility of banishing too many of Crimson Nova or too many Karmas, but after thinking about it for a while, I did realize that, although a lot of people say that Desires is a -9, at least for hand advantage, it is a +1. And most times with this deck, you're going to activate this after you've searched out your Crimson Nova or you already have a Crimson Nova in hand. And there are a lot of situations where you can OTK off of just 1 Nova. So Desires is here for that added consistency. And the 10 cards you banish, you probably weren't going to see in that game anyway with how fast-paced this game is. So you might as well just play Desires at 2 to add a little bit of consistency to get to those combo cards you need. And then, of course, the 1 Upstart Goblin, more consistency, and this deck does a lot of damage when it gets going, so the 1,000 life points you get doesn't really matter too much. Next, we have the free Twin Twister, because the main problem with this deck is back row. Crimson Nova being unaffected by pretty much any monster effect is really nice, but you know there still are spells and traps out there, so we need Twin Twisters to get rid of those. And also this card, things like Cubic Karma to plus off of that. Then for traps, we have the Triple Unification. This is a nice defensive and offensive card sometimes in the graveyard. Whenever one of your cubic monsters leaves the field by any means, you banish this and then summon out any level 4 or lower cubic from your deck, ignoring summoning conditions. So you can actually do like a stall loop with this with Duza, or you can summon out one of your level 4s that you normally couldn't summon and then get off their destruction effects next turn. But yeah, for unification, really good for stalling, and then sometimes for combos if you draw some of the like weaker cubics. Then for the final main deck card, the One Rebirth, you really don't get its on-field effect that much, but it's just really here for another cubic name, to be honest with you, and it's an easy side-out game 2 and 3. So that is the 40 card main deck. For the extra deck, I do play the one Crimson Nova just in case I ever get off the fusion effect of unification, which has never happened in testing so far, but you know, still might as well have it. Plus the villain in Dark Side Dimensions did play it, so I might as well play it. Then for rank 10s with our Crimson Nova, in case we need to overlay with them to not burn ourselves, we have the one Super Dora, one Gustav Max, one Super Dimensional Robot Galaxy Destroyer, Mr. Transformer himself, and then the Spider Engine with Ravenous Tarantula, Pain Gainer, and Seven Sins. For rank 4s with Duza and Summoner Monk, we have Abyss Dweller, Castel, Diamond Dyer, Samurai for extra damage, Samurai Jack, RIP. Geargigan X, it's actually kind of decent to make with 2 Duzas. You can overlay 2 Duzas that are machines into this, and then search out the 3rd Duza if you need an extra cubic name. Then we have the Utopia and Utopia Lightning. And finally, I did get my hands on this, so we have the one Tornado Dragon, just really good for spell and trap card removal for either player's turn. So that's it for the extra deck. Side deck's kind of janky, to be honest, just kind of something I threw together in like a few minutes, but still got some pretty decent theory to it. Of course, the free Denko Sekka. Again, back row is this deck's worst nightmare, so Denko Sekka is like the best counter to that. You do sacrifice your normal summon for this sometimes because, Duza is a really important summon for the deck, but, it's worth it if you're playing against a set 5 deck. Then the free Gamma Seal in case we're running into something really annoying like a Cyber Dragon Infinity or like a Evilsaur Logia or something like that. You okay, babe?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just choking.
2 Dark Hole, 2 Enemy Controller, and the 1 Regeki. Dark Hole and Regeki are just, extra board wipes, and then Enemy Controller is kind of cool against decks that can infinitely float like Burning Abyss or Yang Zanes or, say Metalphos or really almost any Pendulum deck, just to get rid of their ability to float by taking their monster or getting rid of their ability to just like infinitely stall with defense position monsters by switching their monster to attack mode to make sure you get that damage in. Then we have the 2 Chaos Trap Hole, just here to stop the summon of Masterpiece, honestly. And then finally the 2 Forbidden, how's this pronounced? Forbidden Apocrypha, here for the Zoo matchup. You just flip this whenever they have 2 different Xyz on the board, and it just gets rid of their whole board pretty much, and that just usually shuts off their whole turn, especially now without the Norden Fusion Substitute combo. So that is it for this updated deck profile on Cubics. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. I do apologize for the lack of videos over the last couple weeks. It's been a really crazy summer and a really kind of crazy last couple weeks. Some of you may notice the little necklace pendant I have on. It's actually, unfortunately, has my dad's ashes in it. He did die pretty tragically a couple weeks ago, and I've been kind of dealing with that. But that's honestly part of the reason why I'm trying to get out and do videos, because I just need to focus on everything positive that I can. So anyway, remember, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you to Kenzie for recording behind the camera, and we'll catch you guys next time.